Hey guys, in this video I want to as quickly as possible answer some commonly asked questions about how to set packages and pricing, how to charge for upsells, how to communicate this to a customer, and have a short business conversation. The interior that you're seeing here is covered in pet hair, and it serves as a perfect subject for what many of you experience in the mobile detailing, stationary detailing world, where customers will say things like, hey, I've got sand, I've got pet hair, I've got excessive dirt, and the detailer on the other end is wondering, okay, what do I do in a situation like this? Do I upsell? Do I add on additional prices? How do I communicate this? Blah, blah, blah. Let's talk about the very first thing that needs to be set as a foundation. Understand that in every customer's mind, when they say that they're paying for a detail, they have a specific set of packages, or let's just say what's involved in a detail when they say that word, okay? Whether or not it lines up exactly with what your details include is a little bit irrelevant. What we need to understand is that the basic things that tend to be universal when people refer to detailing are things like carpet shampoo, stain treatment, leather cleaning and quote-unquote conditioning, general cleaning of all of the cracks and crevices of the interior. The how you do that is not important. It's the what that is important. Those are the standard things people assume are a part of a detail. So one of the biggest mistakes that I have to talk about before we talk about how to upsell for things like pet hair that detailers make is this. When a customer says, yes, I think I need carpet shampoo, or my car's really dirty, I'd like, you to make sure that you're treating all the stains. They might say kind of random things like that. The detailer will start to separate out, and sort of like you would get a line item invoiced of a bunch of different things you were charged for, they start to do that with customers over the phone. They're like, oh, you want an interior detail, but you want carpet shampoo. Okay, that's going to be an additional X amount of dollars. What we have to avoid doing is line iteming out things that customers assume are a part of the detail and then telling them we're charging them extra for it. Here's the thing. From a mathematical perspective, you could actually charge them the price you're wanting to charge, and they would say yes very easily, but when you separate it out into a line item sort of addition, they might easily say no. So let's just run two scenarios. The first is the detailer says, oh, you want carpet shampoo? That's going to be an extra $35 to $55 depending on how bad the interior is. And let's just say the original price was $150. So you just bumped up the price to $185 to like $205, basically, that sort of range. The customer easily might say, oh, no, okay, well, in that case, like, I'm going to shop around and see what other people are doing. And the only reason they pulled back is because you pulled the service out, you charged extra, quote unquote, for it, and now they feel weird because they got price anchored at $150. The easier way to do this, to avoid that altogether, is to simply tell the customer, oh, okay, based on the condition of your car that I'm hearing you described, you're going to be looking at a minimum price of around $200 with a range of potentially $200 to $225. And that's actually a higher price than the first scenario I just gave, but it included no additional charge, quote unquote. And the customer, because of that, the price sits differently in their head. There was no pulling out of a service and saying, oh, this is additional. It was just, hey, in order to get this to the level you want it to be at, this is the price you're looking for. The reason why you have to do that, and we have to include things that are traditionally considered detailing in our basic packages without pulling them out, is because people, number one, assume that those things are going to be a part of the package, and number two, the customer is not actually asking for you to line item out and basically say, what are you going to upcharge me for? What are you not going to upcharge me for? They want a single price in some sense, or a single price range, in order to get the condition of their car back to the condition that they want it to be at. And so detailers make this mistake constantly, but the only reason you're pulling things out of a detail and then charging extra for it is because you're trying to communicate basically to yourself by talking to the customer. It's almost like you're externally processing it. Oh, I'm going to have to do this. Oh, it's going to add an extra hour because of the way they're describing this. Oh, they want this. Okay, blah, 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 blah. But you don't have to communicate the price or what you are going to do to the customer. That's why I say it's not about the how you're going to get there. It's about the what. Here's what they want. Here's what you know it's going to take. Okay, give them the price for that. So that's the first thing. The second thing, now that we've laid that foundation, that I would communicate is this. There are things external to traditional detailing that people actually expect you to charge extra for. One of those things is something like pet hair. It's something like sand. It's something like scratch removal. Those things people do not intuitively loop in to detailing, and therefore they can be pulled out. However, there is a strategic way to do this after talking to many customers. The simple thing that I would say helps no matter what you're pricing is to have a basic price anchor, which is a price minimum with an average range based on the size of the vehicle. For example, I am detailing a mid-size SUV or a small SUV. There's no third row and there's a bunch of pet hair. Let's say I've got my classic minimum price for pet hair in this size vehicle sitting at an extra $45, but on average it ranges from $45 to $70. I can give them the bottom line price so they know they will be at least charged this, and then I can give them the average price based on what they're describing, but I've got a range of 40 to 70 so they have a minimum and maximum. It's the easiest way to price for an external or additional service without the person pulling back and saying, whoa, number one, they already assume that it's external, they already assume it's additional, and number two, you've given them a minimum and you've given them a maximum, and so they feel barricaded in with what they're going to pay. They can set their expectations accordingly. Simple conversation, guys, but it's so helpful if you're trying to close customers over the phone. Guys, if this video was valuable to you as a pro detailer, hit the like button, comment with any questions you have. I would love to answer them, and as always, if you guys want any resources in terms of products, tools, chemicals to buy, all this sort of stuff that's going to help you grow in your detailing business, go below in the YouTube description box and check out the things that are there. And from Luke here at Wilson Auto Detailing, remember, a great detailer is always learning, and I'll see you in the next video.